These mistakes made me rejected from every college I applied to. If you don't want this to happen to you, keep watching. It's not my GPA, it's not my APs, not my activities or extracurriculars. But if you just don't want to make sure that it isn't, you can check this video here when I share my stats and extracurriculars as well as the colleges I applied to. You can also watch my rejection reactions. Since April 1st, 2022, I've been torturing myself with why? What did I do wrong? And I finally came up with some answers after 10 months. My first mistake, and also one of my biggest mistakes, is that I didn't do enough research. Well, I thought I did enough research, but looking back, I didn't do the right research and I didn't go deep enough. I was having my requirements for college. Okay, I knew that I wanted to go there. I knew that I wanted this, for example, club to be in the school. I wanted enough financial aid and stuff, but I didn't look deeper into the culture and if I am a right fit for this school, if this school is the right fit for me. Because first, like, college is like businesses. They are trying to sell themselves, and you are trying to look at which one is the best, and sometimes it's showcased through a college store, maybe a college website. And I saw, okay, this website looks cool, this super cool college, it gives enough financial aid, let's just apply there then. I didn't really know what I was really looking for a college. I didn't really know why I wanted to go to a college. Oh yeah, maybe I wanted to have a degree to be safe. That needs to go beyond that. That needs to be more like deeper, so you know what is the purpose. Why are you going to college? Why are you going to this specific college? Okay, it has a lot of cool things, but do you think this college is going to be the right fit for you? That's one of the questions I didn't ask myself enough, and I really recommend you to ask yourself. The second mistake is I applied to too many colleges. This may be the result of my lack of research, but I also had a fee waiver for my Common App. So I was like, let's just apply to as many colleges as possible because I have a fee waiver anyways. I just have to write more essays. So I didn't look really deeply into those colleges either, and I ended up overwhelming myself. It is really important to not underestimate this step of college researching. This is the main thing that affects your college decisions, and I think that affected me. If you did the right research and applied to around 10 schools and did amazing research about that, and you're 100% sure you are going to choose this one college, do this then. My problem is that I applied to so many colleges that I didn't even figure out a difference between, oh, going to Harvard, Stanford, there is a lot of difference. And I was like, well, if I get into any one of them, I'm happy about it. I was just looking at top of the iceberg. You know, there's so much more under this iceberg that I didn't look into. So please look at those deep roots and understand if this college is right for you, not if you're good for the college. Because the college application process, the first step that we never talk about is the one when you decide which college is the right fit for you. Then it's going to be the turn of the college to decide if you are a good fit for them. Another big mistake that I have done that is also related to the college choice is that I put a lot of emphasis into the prestige of this college. I thought I didn't as well, but you have to make sure that you are applying to this college for really personal reasons that really connect deeply into you, and not apply because, oh, it is really high ranked, let's just apply there. Oh, I don't need to write a supplemental essay and I have a fee waiver, let's just apply there. No, you shouldn't. Really, you should actually go deep into that and see if it's a good one. My next biggest mistake is that I binged watched the college reaction decisions video. It's really cool. You see a lot of people getting in, maybe some people get rejected, you get thrilled, you're excited, but it's stressed me out. First, it gave me hope that if these people did it, I might do it as well, and that's really cool. But I got really disappointed after that. I think it gave me a lot of bias, and I really wanted to leave this dream that they lived, like getting into these schools and crying because they got into these schools. I started imagining getting into these schools so much that I almost like took it for granted that I'm gonna get in there, which is not a good thing, because at the end with the rejections, I didn't deal with them the perfect way. Another problem with binge watching those videos is that it started stressing me out, because I was like, oh my god, what happens if I receive it? And it's like a month before I receive them, and I start like researching, oh, how do I know in advance if I get in or not? And it starts Like, you start getting anxiety because you want to live that moment so much. You just think about the future and not focus on the present moment and enjoy it. And this is why sometimes the college application process can feel so slow. Do not do this next mistake, especially if you're an international student, because my mistake here is that I underestimated the international student status. Oh, I knew that like it's harder to get in if you're an international student, it's more competitive. You know, I thought I was competitive enough. I thought that maybe I had what I wanted, but my financial aid or my competitiveness was not as high because I was comparing myself with US citizens, especially through those college reaction decisions. I was comparing myself with these people and looking at them, and I was like, okay, I have this GPA, it's good. I have this activities, so it's good. Okay, so I'm good to go, right? But then I didn't compare myself to people that are international students and maybe people that are in the same country as I am. And especially, and one of the biggest issues is financial aid, because even though they say they 100% need met or they even need lines, sometimes there's been some issues that those colleges still look at your financial aid as a big factor, and they prefer to take someone that is less competitive than you but has the money to pay than someone that is really competitive but that doesn't have the same amount of money to pay, because in the end they're businesses, and that is super important to keep in mind. So if you are an international student, pay attention to those stats. Don't take it for granted. Be as competitive as you can be and put out the best application. Don't forget that the numbers that you have been shown in the acceptance rate is way lower for international students. That's one thing you really have to keep in mind. Another mistake, or at least I'll say factor, that didn't play on my way was that I was in an traditional school system. That means those traditional colleges might not be sure that my school system and the grades that I got from this school system might be reflective of how I will do in their college, which, yeah, it's understandable, but it's kind of sad that they don't want to take people because of their school system. I come from this assumption because previously my school was an IB school. The students that did IB in the school got into the best colleges, into the Ivy Leagues, and the school was also really international. So I assumed that there was a lot of international students getting into those top schools. But since they switched, because they really switched recently to a non-traditional school system, I have noticed that it's way harder for us, the students from this school, to get into those top schools because of this change of curriculum. But I still feel like it's kind of sad that the colleges can't adapt and can't be sure and trust that this new non-traditional system might be good. As an international student and as a non-traditional student, I didn't have an SAT score. And I feel like those three combined, not being an international student, not having enough financial aid, of being in a non-traditional school so you don't really know if they're going to do well, and not having an SAT score, it's kind of like, This one is to have a non-structured application. What do I mean with a non-structured application? You do not have a point of focus. An application is not you as a whole. An application is the best part of you that you are showing to this college. So you have to keep in mind that when you're making your application, you don't have to show them everything about you and who you are. You have to show them what they want to see while showing how unique you are. What I mean by that is that you have to meet their culture, you have to meet the way they see things. So you have to have this kind of same perspective, but at the same time, there's to be something unique about you. So it's really important to have this structured application when you know where you're pointing and you know which major you're doing, or at least showcasing to the college, or you know the reason why you're showcasing this activity and this activity specifically at the top. So it needs to be structured. You don't think about each part of your application as something you have to focus one by one. It's a whole thing you have to focus at the same time. Ask yourself, who am I showcasing in my application? what part of me am I showcasing? The next mistake I did is that I did last minute changes. I applied to 18 schools already, but oh, I want to apply to Korea because they have an amazing architecture school and I just got super interested in architecture. It's a little late to apply now. What should I do? Oh, let's still apply and send your application in the last minute. That's not the right thing to do at all. You have to be strategic about what you're doing, and if you do all the strategies in the last minute, that is not going to work. I believe I also have some essay mistakes, but I decided to tackle them in the next video. So stay tuned and follow for more. Again, if you're interested in watching more college videos, check this one out.